Rufus Rodriguez is now recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. In a more settled and calm environment, may I now greet our guest, a pleasant good morning, the officialdom of DND and the attached agencies, led by the pride of UP College of Law, following the footsteps of 1939 Bar Top na Chair number 1, Ferdinand Marcos Sr., 1940 Jovito Salonga, and here we come, Secretary Gibo Teodoro. Let me also now greet our Armed Forces Chief, who came from Fort ID, our General Romeo Bronner, and I will also already mention the others. Now, I am very particular about how we shall contain the Chinese intrusions into our West Philippine Sea. And the problem is they have disregarded the July 12, 2016 Arbitral Award by the International Tribunal, the United Nations Convention of the Law of the Seas, 1982. May we know what are the specific actions of the DND to counter this Chinese aggression in the short run?
Without going into operational details, Your Honor, the principles that we'll put is that we will not back down. We will continue to be doing what we are doing, and we will continue to build up alliances with like-minded nations in order to enforce international law. And the narrative always spun is that these alliances are being done to contain China. It is being done to enforce international laws, because what contains countries from expansion is international law and not any other force. And when China states that we are puppets of the United States or other hegemons, in order to contain them, they implicitly admit by using the word contain that they have an expansionist agenda. And that is proven by the new administrative map where they added another dashed line. So that is the best evidence of their expansionist agenda to dominate the whole South China Sea and perhaps beyond.
Thank you for that excellent answer, Secretary. And so therefore, we would need other like-minded countries to join us in the preservation enforcement of the rule of law.
Definitely, Your Honor, because international law is a consensus made by several nations and by common practice. And if we compromise in any one bit in international law, it may stand a chance with the international law expert here of becoming common principles of international or customary international law, because it's evolutionary. So we should stand our ground and at the same time try as much to leverage our alliances, and thirdly, try as much as possible to have a wise capability upgrade to have a credible deterrent posture, to include the 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone.
Thank you. And do you confirm that the President met in Indonesia for the tripartite agreement on defense and other agreements with the United States and Japan? Would you confirm that, Secretary?
Your Honor, I don't have that information right now, and I would rather wait for the DFA to confirm it.
Thank you very much. It's already been agreed. So with that, we really would like to thank our Secretary for making sure that our national territory, including our sovereign rights over the 200-mile economic zone, will be preserved. My next question to the Secretary is about our recovery of the advance for the helicopters from Russia. May we know the development of that, because the development was quite large.
Your Honor, right now we have referred the matter to the OSG for the best way forward, because there are legal implications, and we want to make sure if there is a legal route that we take, that we are sure of a positive outcome. Right now, Your Honor, we are still in the process of reviewing it and find the best way forward, and we are waiting for the OSG opinion, so you'll be guided and not act hastily on it.
Thank you for your stance on that. How much is the advance for the Russian helicopters, which we see to recover?
1.9 billion US.
1.9 billion. So we hope under your helm, Mr. Secretary, will be able to recover 1.9 billion. Is a lot.
Hopefully, Your Honor, that is the quest, or its equivalent in usable equipment or whatever, Your Honor. But right now, I'll have to wait for the OSG opinion on whether or not we have legal grounds to terminate the contract, or whether in fact it was terminated in accordance with its provisions, and whether or not there are grounds for a recovery.
Thank you, Secretary. Now, for my local concern, we have a letter for you and to our Administrator, 𝗕𝗔𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪, is regarding the studied the effect of shear line of my district, which is coastal. And I have a letter for you only requesting for about 4 infrastructure programs amounting only to 140 million. Can you look at it and evaluate it? Because the shear line, when there is a convergence of hot and cold air, it results to rising sea levels, it causes floods and the others. So could you kindly look into this, if we can probably finance from the OCD, going to the public works, only 140 million to protect our residents in my coastal barangays of Cagayan de Oro.
We will do so, Your Honor, and I've personally experienced the effects not only of tropical disturbances but continuous rains in Cagayan de Oro, where there are mudslides and devastation galore. Particularly when coconut trees are planted, they become deadly weapons. We will do so, Your Honor.
Thank you for that commitment, Secretary. Now we go to the budget. I have laid a predicate already, Madam Chair, that we have to support the DND to the most that we can in terms of budget. Your budget, Mr. Secretary, is 229.9 billion for the budget for 2025 NEP. Do you confirm that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, it's here in page 7. Now, if you compare that 2024 NEP to the 2023 appropriations, GAA, there is an increase indeed of only 12%, or 25.4 billion. My question, Secretary, is, are there more important priorities which should also be included, which are not approved by the DBM, which will be able to add to your budget? Because as we have said, DND is the first. We really have to support the DND. Can you answer that, Secretary? Are there more that are priority acquisitions or programs from the 229.9 billion pesos?
For priority acquisitions, Your Honor, we are in the process of reviewing what are the most important acquisitions based on the current threats that we face, because they have changed. But more importantly are the follow-on, because I was informed that certain projects in Horizon 1 and Horizon 2 were bidded separately for, let's say, vessel and then combat weapon suites. They're bidded separately. So for the completion of Horizon 1 projects and Horizon 2, we would need additional budget for that. And thirdly, the most importantly, since we've been experiencing calamities from the beginning of the year, and heeding the warning that there will be an El Nino next year, water shortage, where the AFP may be called upon once again to give assistance. For example, in the Mayon situation right now, 1 desalinator of the Philippine Navy and 3 of the OCD are there already, continuously providing fresh water to our people. So in anticipation of further MOEs for humanitarian assistance and disaster response, we would appreciate additional MOEs for more steaming hours, more flying hours, and more gas, given the price of gas increase.
With that,
The Chair would like to...
Madam Chair, may I just conclude? Still a few seconds. Kindly submit, Mr. Secretary, your what would be needed priority ones to the committee and to this office. And because of that, Mr. Chairman, Madam Chair, I now, at this point, after the excellent answers of the Secretary, I move to approve not only the budget of the DND, but to increase the budget as required by our Secretary. So move, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much, Representative Rodriguez.